if you're into that soprano, Duck Dynasty sort of weirdness, listening to country music, eating barbecue, and drinking bourbon, maybe you think he's great, but I don't. Those people who know that Larry Krohn has a problem with me. He doesn't want to mention my name. He can't train equally to me. He did a bogus quarter-mile recall and tried to dismiss it as if it's no big deal, which the only person, again, who's done it is the matriarch in Hawaii. Everyone talks as if it's so easy. Oh, they can do it, but they don't do it. And, again, put money down. Let's see. And also, of course, no one's going to match me with Akuma, the monster American Bulldog, the only 110-pound, no-tail American Bulldog who can do a switch limp. Nobody's going to be able to beat me on that. That's the walked on the moon. I'm a 3:59-minute miler when I've got 15-minute milers trying to make comments. So that goes to Larry Krohn, because a lot of people know this history about Larry Krohn. I don't know how many people watch Larry and watch my stuff, but whatever. Anyway, it was a link to Larry talking about a German Shepherd group on Facebook. Man, I have a lot I can say. I guess the person wanted me to comment, about what Larry was saying and about the original question or something. So some woman is looking for advice, wants information from the internet, the crowdsourcing, meaning idiots, what she should do, or basically probably get validated on what her decision already is. That's what most people try to do. So I know the psychodynamics of all that. But anyway, so the question was, she has a working line German Shepherd, and the dog is aggressive towards her, and she wants to murder the dog. Now, I'm not using these terms like euthanize, put down. This means kill, murder, execute. Okay. Now, that's just how it is. And if YouTube algorithms have a problem with that, I don't care. I'm not here to make it seem easy or dismiss the actual facts. So she's, I guess, said, I don't want to do it. But she's talking about it, which means she wants to be validated for doing it. So Larry said the advice that she was getting from some people, one woman was talking about, I guess, using a broomstick to make the dog submit, get on his side, and must show submission at all times, and she must be ultra, SS with the dog, which I've talked about with walks and stuff. And Robert Weatherwax and I have talked about that. People who think that obedience at 6-7 inches away from you is some incredible skill. No, let's see you the dog 50 feet or more from you, because that's what you have to do with movie dogs, and you also do that with tactical dogs. Those are my two big influences, as you know, if you paid attention. So, and that's something else I want to say. I'm just going to say this right now, because a lot of people jump around in the videos. They don't watch the whole thing. They just react. They have an emotional opinion. They don't have the focus or attention span to get through an entire video. They don't pay attention to details. So it makes me wonder if they've ever gotten through a textbook, if they've accomplished any sort of advanced degrees in anything, if they've accomplished anything, because I don't think that they had the focus to do that. But if you start commenting and it has nothing to do with the video, and in fact, if you don't cite the minute and second mark of the video, of any of my videos that you're talking about, you're going to get a stupid post award. And if you continue to rattle on when you didn't watch it, you didn't do any research in the other videos, you're going to get a dumbass award. Just letting you know, okay? So back to Larry's stuff. So Larry is saying that this woman is saying that you must have the dog submit at all times. This is one way to cure this problem. And Larry's saying, no, that's stupid. That's really ignorant advice. You don't know what you're talking about. And then again, he went into something that's really non-productive. And a lot of people do this. You should have no business. This woman should not have a working line German Shepherd. The breeder should not have sold her a working line German Shepherd. Okay, all of that is true. Probably, more than likely, but it's not productive. How does that help the situation now? Too many people want to do that. That's a U.S. thing too. Blame other people, so instead of solving the damn problem. That is highly U.S. Highly U.S. he was talking about, it's really bad in these Facebook groups, especially the breed specific ones. I don't know. I'm not really in any of those. I don't have anything. Now, as far as I guess this person wanted me to comment on German Shepherds. There's only one real German Shepherd, and most people have zero idea what von Stephanus did, said, and was doing, and what happened in the original German Shepherds, Alsatians, that were brought to the United States. That is Rin Tin Tin, Strongheart, that group. Now, you take a look at those dogs, they're nothing like what the American German Shepherd, now that's an oxymoron, the American German Shepherd. People have got the slope back, made them heavier, they're slower, they're not as agile, and they start, I don't want the looks of the dog, but I don't want him to be able to do what he does. Yeah, okay. So, you want a midget to play NBA. It doesn't work that way. So I don't go with any of these, there's 8 different types of German Shepherd. No, there's actually one. And the problem is that they've only been retained in Eastern Europe, actually. There's still some in Germany, actually, that are the original type, style, and in Slovak and also in the Czech Republic. So you'll hear people talking about it. I have a Czech German Shepherd puppy that you'll see more of coming up. But anyway, I mention this because every breeder that I went to, because I was looking actually for a KMPV dog. That's a long story. I have another video that talks about that, what happened with that and these lying scumbags. But there is some other, every breeder that I went to or whatever knows I know what the hell I'm doing. 51 years with dogs, so I'm not a person who's going to get surprised. Yes, you should ask questions to people who don't know what they're getting involved in, and they don't know. Again, I have a whole video about the tier 1 dogs, and not German Shepherds are not tier 1 dogs, and you can see why in that. And people respond stupidly with emotions. They don't even know what the hell a tier 1 dog is. So go look at that video all the way through before you make a stupid comment and win a dumbass award. All right, so this being said, working line there, that's all German Shepherds were. That's what they were designed to be originally. It's like saying, I want a greyhound that's a couch potato and doesn't run, against the genetics that they were artificially, created to do, selectively bred for. A lot of people have problems with this, not everything. And of course, then you get pet dog trainers in there. The pet dog trainers, which I will lambast again and again and again, are the lowest of all dog trainers, because they see everything through this lens of, a golden doodle, a golden doodle, a labradoodle, a shih tzu, a miniature poodle. They're seeing this through this. Those are not dogs that are, those are nothing like a lot of other dogs. And that's why I have problems with people who haven't trained many different types of dogs, basically. But Larry didn't mention that point. But Larry was saying, they don't know what they're doing, and they should never have a working line German Shepherd. Okay, but how does that solve the problem now, Larry? And then he said, well, you're going to have to go to somebody. You're going to have to find somebody who knows what they're doing. You're going to have to spend a lot of money. Okay, number one. All right, this whole garbage of you're going to have to spend a lot of money. Depends. No, I don't agree with that. If you, for example, now I'm not going to recommend a bunch of people, because the people I talk about, if you hear me mention names, it's because they are highly skilled people. They're not the run-of-the-mill. They're not franchise people. I'm not patting backs. I'm not trying to do a little network circle of people. I don't care about that. If you know anything about me, which a lot of you don't, I was the #1 world contender in fighting. Conflict is part of my thing, and separating myself from other people and being better than other people is how I got there. And it's part of my psychological makeup too, in any endeavor I do. I'm not just run of the mill. That's why Larry has a problem with me, because he can't match me. And he talks about helping dogs, but he doesn't have a bunch of dogs. He doesn't equal the matriarch. He doesn't equal me. The matriarchs call him out. Of course, he probably doesn't know her channel or anything, but the matriarch's in Hawaii. And she's doing these things with 3 dogs at the same time that Larry cannot do, and that a bunch of people cannot do. So, and 8, there's videos, it's on my channel, you can check her out. So I bring her up because you would not spend a fortune going to her, and she would solve the problem. Also, I'll bring up Robert Weatherwax, the last of the legendary Lassie trainers. You know, he and I do podcasts and stuff and together, and we talk quite a bit. He works on this sort of thing quite a bit. Now, if you went to him, you're not going to spend this sort of huge money that Larry's talking about that he would charge, or that other people that he knows would charge. So people trying to profit off of a bad situation, I don't like. That's sort of like the medical system in the United States, you know, profiting off of misery. That I have a problem with Larry on that aspect. I have a problem with this. So what? You know, I guess the person who sent me the link wanted to know what my solution is. Well, I approach each dog individually. There are no global generalized answers that I will give. My solution would be to have the dog rehomed to somebody who is a tactical dog trainer. Somebody who is used to that type of dog, knows that type of dog. It's the same thing, you know, who would I give a Formula One car to? A Formula One driver. A Formula One driver, not your SUV soccer mom. You know, you can't do it. This analogy is valid as hell. I'm not gonna give a 308 GTB Ferrari to a 16-year-old either. Meaning they don't have enough experience driving. My advice for this: somebody who's trained for over 20 years with dogs, who's a tactical dog trainer, trainer, not just a handler, a trainer. There's a huge difference between a trainer and a handler, by the way. Different video I'll do. So, is Larry, you know, what do I have to say about Larry? Larry, I guess, wanted to emphasize a big point. I guess he wanted to talk about how he runs his mouth, he doesn't think. Of course, we know that. You know, Larry Krohn, I mean, the guy. Yeah. I mean, he's scared. There's some things he's scared about. He can't approach me. He can't do what I can do with Akuma. Nobody can. And he's scared. He won't take the Jedi Dog Master challenge. He can't. He'll lose $5,000. Boom. He also won't do what the matriarch has asked him to do, you know, the show that he can do what, you know, that's another thing. He made this thing, you know, show, don't tell. Show, don't tell. All right, Larry, it's time to show. But as far as the German Shepherd thing goes, there's a lot I could say, a lot more, but, you know, I've got other things to do. I'm here with Bandit right now. I'm always with a dog. I've got a lot more dogs than Larry's got. I may have more dogs right now than Larry's had in his entire life. Probably that's true. More than most other people have had. Very, very few people have had as many dogs as I had, unless they're sled dog people. Or not breeder. I don't count breeders because they're not interacting with the dogs and stuff. I'm getting on a tangent like I always do. But the point is, you know, so what do I think about Larry? I think if you're into that Soprano, Duck Dynasty sort of weirdness, listening to country music, eating barbecue and drinking bourbon, you know, maybe you think he's great. But I don't. And I think he's a coward not to do a legitimate quarter mile, and also not to try to attempt to do what I did with Akuma, because he can't. You know, somebody's at the top of the heap. Again, I'm a 3:59-minute miler. Larry's a 12-minute miler, maybe.